All right, so when that electron gets captured by the NADP plus and becomes NADPH, that's, remember when we saw on the other page, that was like one of the ingredients that we needed for the Calvin cycle. So again, our outcome for light dependent reaction, like what we want as the outcome is NADPH, ATP, and we're going to get a byproduct of oxygen. So we could check this off of our list because cool, we got NADPH. So pretty much that when that electron gets taken up, the next electron from photosystem 2 comes in and takes its place, right? And then it gets energized. But how do we refill, or where do we get the electrons for photosystem 2? Because I started off just by saying like, hey, so there was an electron here and then the light comes in from here, but where does the electron come from? So photosystem 2 is really attracted to electron. So it's electron, kind of like a magnet in a way. And so it needs an electron and would do anything for an electron. So what happens is that it breaks down what we call water. So water is just casually here in the thylakoid. And so what happens is the water breaks down and the electron is given to the photosystem 2. So photosystem 2 is happy because now there's electron for it to get excited again. So then what happens to water though? Because the electron's gone, the bonds break down, and so we have leftover of oxygen and some hydrogens. And so let's see that. So we have hydrogen, right? And those hydrogens now contribute into this concentration gradient that we're starting to see. And again, concentration gradients is just pretty much just like additions of, or a difference of level in hydrogens from the stroma to the lumen. So now the hydrogens are accumulating. And the oxygen is what we see in our equation, right? So O2, and that is what plants emit. It's a byproduct. So oxygen is a byproduct, meaning that the plants aren't using it, but it's just made, and luckily it's something that as humans and animals and stuff like that, it's essential for us. So that's where the oxygen comes in. And so now as more, so again, the process goes down, electrons are going down this, I should write it here, electron transport chain. More hydrogens are pumping out through the hydrogen pump. And so there's less hydrogens here. And now we have a whole bunch of hydrogens on the thylakoid side. And because of this, at one point through facilitated diffusion, we can see these hydrogens go through the ATP synthase. And so ATP synthase, you could think of this as like churning windmill that when the hydrogens go through, it produces, or it allows for rephosphorylation of ADP. And what I mean by that is, let's move this a little bit. So again, the H pluses or hydrogens are now back this way. So let's erase them here. And that allows for the energy that is created by the ATP synthase when all these hydrogens come back in, allows for ADP to get tagged by a phosphate so that it becomes ATP. Because remember, ATP has 3 phosphates and ADP has 2 phosphates. So yeah, we made ATP, right? So let's look back at our checklist. We needed NADPH, we made that. We needed oxygen, we made that as a byproduct. And we needed ATP, which is what we made through the ATP synthase. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a rundown on what happens in the light-dependent reaction phase. I know it's a little bit confusing and it's pretty complex, but once you break it down, it's not too bad. What I really recommend after watching this video is for you to stop, take a piece of paper, and try your best to recreate it